Yes! Woo! Tribal drumming. We are Journals Network. I am Louise Palanker. We're here to answer all of your questions about life and things and stuff like that. Did I describe the show nicely? It's a show about things and stuff. I found you. All right. We've got Lyric, Jilly, Josh, Mozart, Sarah. Aaron's here. Mozart's dad is here. Andrew's here. Matt's here. Trisha's here. Teresa's here. She's got snacks and treats for everybody.
That's really nice. Mm-hmm.
I'm Louise Palanker. Anybody have any news flashes, any updates, any kind of...
I start school this week.
Ooh. What grade are we doing?
10th grade.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh fun.
Yep.
And that was a fun year.
And that did that start or it's starting?
No, like it started.
It's so far?
It's really good. I mean, we just got a new campus, so it's kind of weird.
How does that work?
And well,
they trade in their campus.
Before we had the high school is kind of new that I go to, so they now just got a campus finally. Before we were like kind of renting a campus, a college campus. So now we have our own campus, and it's really big and it's really beautiful. But they're also not being a freshman is weird. Just seeing all the freshmen and being like, I don't know you. Like this is it's just a really strange thing, but I love it.
It is.
I love seeing all the freshmen.
I like seeing
that's not what I'm saying.
People more awkward than me. Yay.
No, but it's fun. 10th grade's fun so far.
And Jilly, you're starting college.
Starting college.
Yeah,
all is well.
Cute. What you taking?
I'm taking my favorite class is a women's history class that I think is gonna be really
nice.
cool. So yeah,
yeah,
that's new.
So who are some women that you'd be studying? That you think?
I mean, hopefully lots of fun ones. I am not sure yet though. I have to do the reading tonight after the podcast.
Ooh.
But
I want to know who makes the cut.
I'll let you know. I'll report back.
This is exciting.
Hopefully Florence Nightingale, because she's fun.
Wait, where are you going again?
I'm going to USC, but I'm taking class at SMC right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Santa Monica.
Wow.
Santa Monica.
All right. You're all done with school, Mozart? Are you graduating college yet?
Not
at 15?
Not yet, but I do have some very exciting things happening.
Tell us.
Well,
Please share.
I got the lead in a TV show.
What?
Which is, yeah.
And explain.
Oh, I can't talk about it.
Non-disclosures.
Yes, non-disclosures. Gotta love them.
Okay.
And I also got a commercial, which
Yay.
I did a fitting for today.
Dude,
Yay.
success.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very exciting.
Josh,
career updates.
So I kind of gave an update last week, and things are just moving forward. On Friday, I'm having my first meeting with the producer and scheduling all of the different where I want to be and budgets and all of that stuff.
We're talking about your music career.
Yeah, music.
Yes.
So that's cool. And then I went out of town last week on a bandaloo retreat, and it's basically like aerial like dancing from strings. So I have these videos of me like spinning in the sky.
Oh, wow.
We
That's
need them. We need to put them on the
fantastic.
show.
Yeah.
Yes.
You tell us about them, but you don't get the video. What?
Yes, you have to
What is
bring a
up with
clip.
that?
Yeah,
I have
come
a
on,
clip.
Josh.
What gives?
Well, how
Josh?
can you email it to Matt?
I can email.
Can we make that happen?
We're
Matt?
just gonna
I'm so
halfway through the
excited.
show. It's just gonna start
Just
showing
start
up.
All of a
showing.
sudden, people will start spinning in air
Just
Yeah.
the theme song.
Yeah,
to our theme song, to the tribal drum.
Okay, I'll email it. I'll email it right now.
All right. So, Lyric, would you read the first question?
I will.
Thank you. We have questions from the kids in our app, and our app is in the iTunes App Store. It's called Journals Network. So please download that. And if you're on Journals Network on YouTube, please comment, and we will answer your question live on the air right now. You can also give us a call, 888-531-7171. You can talk to us. You can talk to specifically Lyric. She's a 10th grader. I mean, there's that going on. And Lyric's going to read the first question.
Okay. Remember that guy I told you about who keeps staring at me? Well, I was walking to class when another guy, Adam, bumped into me and apologized. Then, the guy who keeps staring, Bill, was walking behind Adam, and he started shouting at him, "Why did you bump into her? Why didn't you apologize? You should have apologized to her." Adam had already apologized. I didn't want to make a scene out of it, so I just walked away. I know that it's not my fault, but if Adam hadn't bumped into me, Bill wouldn't have shouted at him, so I feel like a monster. I saw Bill speaking rudely to Adam after break time as well. So does Bill just start acting crazy in front of me, or is he a bully?
All right, I just have to start off by saying this is really sexist, but girls always think that everything that happens in physical space is their fault. Like for her to even describe herself as a monster because this situation happened to her is, I'm sorry, not fair to yourself. Anyway, take it away, panel. Mozart.
Yeah, first of all, you're not a monster. Like, no. But you should not. Okay, Adam is the guy who's. No,
Adam
Bill.
accidentally. Bill is the one that she's
Bill.
worried
Okay.
about might be stalking her and or a bully.
Stay away from Bill as much as you can because he just does not seem like a
He's being very possessive, kind of. And
Yeah.
like
this
a
is creepy.
sane kind of person.
Yeah, no.
And he's really not somebody that you want to get involved with. And I'm, of course, you have school with him and you have classes with him and you can't, change that. But just keep your distance and take care of yourself. And you're not a monster. Like, it's Bill. He's the jerk,
Sir.
It's kind of sounds like, just kind of putting that out there, it kind of sounds like he's possessively liking you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some girls, when they like a guy, sometimes they'll see the guy talking to another girl, and even though they're not together, the girl will go up like, why are you talking to her? Do you have something with her? Like, they'll get crazy. But so far from what I've read from the question, it definitely sounds like whoosh, like attached to you, like a leech.
Lyric.
Adam seems like a nice guy. I mean, he's like apologizing.
I don't even know if she's trying to pick. She's trying to just kind of analyze Bill's behavior, and he's overly possessive in that he's on the attack on your behalf, unrequested by you, in a way that's making you more uncomfortable than if the situation had just happened. One thing that you can do in a situation like that is you can hold your ground, look at Bill, and say, he apologized, and say it in a cute, fun, smiley way that diffuses the tension. In other words, you don't have to ratchet up the tension to defend someone. You can do it in a fun voice where you just kind of take the tension back down and let everyone know, I can take care of myself. Adam took care of the situation. I took care of the situation. We don't necessarily need you, Bill, making this more awk for everyone. But yeah, I like what Lyric said about him being very possessive. That's what's going on. And you can kind of put a clamp on that just by being sweet about it.
Yeah, and for someone who likes you and for someone who just like bumped into you, that's a really not a good reaction. So
Wait, no, Adam bumped into him and then Bill was
I know. It's a very just like odd reaction.
He's looking for any excuse to talk to you or about you or
or
on your behalf, and you're not an object.
Feminism.
And also, if you end up like, okay, if you were to have a relationship with Bill, this would not be a good relationship. He would be extremely possessive, and things start to happen that are not so great.
You bumping into my lady?
Yeah, no, like it just gets. There are several.
What are you
cases
doing,
where it's
bumping
not.
into my woman?
Yeah, and then they fight.
I mean, there's probably people dead over this exact issue.
You know, Bills and Adams. Seriously.
Like that.
Yeah, you need to just head them off at the pass.
Yes.
It's like, let's be friends. Everyone gets to bump into me. Let's take turns. No, that was weird. I apologize.
Bumper cars.
Bumper cars. Jilly, would you read the question from Smileykin?
Sure.
That's a great username.
Yeah, I like it.
Good screen name.
Okay.
Yes.
I've had a thing with this guy for a month now, and we've had 2 arguments. The first one was because I asked him if I was the only girl that he talked to. The result of this was him ignoring me for like 2 days. Now him and I aren't talking again, and I'm having a hard time not messaging him and coming off as needy or desperate. What should I do? He was a really nice guy and did all of the perfect things. Classic.
Mozi.
This is not a healthy relationship. I mean, like, you sound young, so like no matter what relationship you're gonna have, it's not gonna be like forever. But it's just, if you're gonna have a relationship, you want to be happy in it, and you want to feel safe with that person, and you want to be able to be yourself with that person without fear of abandonment or, ignoring. I don't know what
Or being ignored.
Yes, there you go. Or being ignored. And so this has not been going on for very long, and it doesn't sound like you guys are dating. It just sounds like you have a thing. So honestly, I would not pursue this anymore because these are red flags. in my opinion. These are just red
you,
flags.
You do get to ask though, am I the only girl that you're talking?
Yeah,
Like,
but his
someone's supposed to
reaction.
respond.
yeah, Jilly, yeah.
I mean, I think that like you got the answer. I mean, clearly it's not just you, or that's not the situation. So like you kind of like, you know what you're in, like the situation that you're in, and if it's like your choice if you're gonna keep being in this relationship, but like you don't. It doesn't seem good. It really doesn't. But I think that like, you know, you got your answer and just proceed with caution, because I think that he's not taking it nearly as seriously as you are.
And there are a lot of people online who are talking, like flirt talking to a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Like they're out there. And so any of us could get caught up in that swirling quagmire, correct?
It's just his reaction to it. I feel
Yeah.
like if just been like, oh yeah, no, you're not the only girl I'm talking to, but I like you. It's just that his reaction of ignoring her for 2 days, that was the red
that was
flag.
like punishing her for even
Yeah.
inquiring.
And that's like my point. Like you want to feel safe. You want to be able to ask questions about your relationship without fear of being ignored.
yeah, but for you to always, we have the video from Josh. This just in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Breaking news.
Back to you in
I
the
only could
studio,
send
Matt.
the smaller one because the larger one wouldn't send.
Can you
That'll do.
narrate?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Did it go slow mo or was
Let's
it
let's
which
put the
one was
theme
it?
music on with it.
It was the slow mo
Oh
one.
my god.
Whoosh. Whoosh.
You don't have the tribal drum so far?
You hear like the
Dum, ba, dum,
demon
dum,
growl,
dum.
the demon growl. in
We
the
can
background.
sing it.
Been out there wandering. I've been
All right, Josh, what is happening? Are you in pain?
No, I'm not.
Are you being held against your will?
No, I'm not.
Please explain what's happening.
So there's a trampoline on
Okay.
the wall.
Okay.
And they have me trampolining.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a
Trampolining.
word.
That's
If that's
my
a word.
thoughts
But
exactly.
that's the smaller video. I couldn't send the large one. It
I
wouldn't
learned
go
that word
through.
in 10th
It was
grade
sad.
today, guys. Trampolining.
So-
Trampolining. It's a verb.
Yeah.
To trampoline.
Very good, Josh. That sounds like you had an
was
exciting.
That was
Yeah,
amazing.
I mean, I
Thank
was
you.
sick afterwards because they told me to do a double and I did a quadruple.
So you barfed
it
after.
I shouldn't have done that.
Wow.
But yeah,
Why?
back to the
And
question.
the Russian judge was impressed.
Yeah.
Back
so,
to the question. Yeah.
So for me in this question, I know, like, I just want to take a look at what you've said. I mean, I agree with everything that the panel and everyone in the room said so far. I think that you even said that he did all and said all the perfect things. However, I mean, he stopped talking to you. That's not perfect. Like, I don't. You're saying stuff that's contradictory to other things that have come out
right.
of your
Counter.
mouth. So, I just take a look at that lyric.
Yeah, and I'm sure he has been a nice guy too. Like, I mean, 2 arguments in 1 month when you guys aren't even really like, it sounds like you're not really in a real relationship is just, I don't know. To me, that is like a little bit of a red flag too. But arguments happen with couples. I think that the thing is just that his reaction to this, and I'm sure he probably is a nice guy. Like but when someone doesn't just either honestly say, yes, I am talking to other girls, or doesn't say, you're the only one. Like, I mean, it's just when you just ignore someone, that's just not the thing to do.
It's not healthy. Yeah.
No.
And a lot of guys, they talk the talk and they're nice and they're great guys on the surface. But when it comes down to the actions, what they do says everything about them as a person.
Yeah.
And this action, this action does not speak well for him. So drop him like a hot potato, honey.
Oh.
Jilly.
No, I
like
would.
that.
I really like that. No,
Yeah.
I would also say that when you like somebody, everything they say and everything they do, you're like, oh, it's amazing. And they're the perfect guy and whatever. But like the biggest thing I think that we're all kind of saying is like, if somebody ignores you, like that's just like disrespectful and it's not healthy and it's just going to get worse. So I think that like that, the action of that is, as Mozart says, it speaks way louder than anything he's saying.
So you've heard the expression "love is blind." So what that means on a grander scale is that once we decide we're in love, this valve gets switched on, and all these emotions are flowing, and it ignores everything possibly negative, or it makes an excuse for, or it kind of corrects, or somehow balances the person out. And you're not seeing things that are really, really clear because you've got that love vibe going.
Yeah.
And it's really hard because it takes a long time and a lot of effort to fall out of love with somebody. But you should be able to at least take a step back and say, well, everything he does isn't perfect because he did this. It's also in his body of work, is his ignoring of me. And that part is not a great it's just not a great indicator for your future potential together, because he needs to be able to say, you know what, I really like you online, but I'm also talking to other people.
Oh.
And then you would know, rather than just keeping you on edge, which is ungood. Mozart, would you please read the next question?
Yes. Oh, sorry. It's not ready. Okay. One of my best friends is pregnant. Only our 2 other friends know. The 3 of us are hiding it. We are trying our best every day to protect our best friend, even if it means hiding it from our own parents and family. Are we doing the right thing? Is telling our secret to our family right and staying by our best friend's side wrong? I want to tell our parents, but they could force her to have an abortion. We don't want to kill something precious. I just want to know, are we making the right decision?
Lyric.
So I don't think it's like an either or, telling your secret to your family or staying like on your friend's side. Like, I don't think staying by their side, I think you can do both. And I think that when it comes, I mean, your parents are going to still find out anyway if you have this kid. So honestly, why not tell them now and get their insight on this? Because yes, probably you don't, okay, there's a lot of controversy about this right now, but to me, yes, it is a life, but it's not a life yet, and it could very much change the course of your life. If you plan to go to college, if you plan to have something, your child will definitely take away from that. So I think you have to tell
It's the
an
friend's
adult.
child. It's the friend's child.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying like your
Yeah.
child, as if I'm speaking. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
the kid would just, that would take away from what your career path would become.
Sarah.
Just your life, yeah.
I think it's on my behalf. Like you said, there's a lot of controversy about it with like pro-life, pro-choice. But mostly what they should be focusing on is it's her choice. Like, it's good that you're sticking up to her, for her as a best friend, and it's amazing the things that you're doing. But in the end, it all results to her. Like, yes, her parents may be like really mad that you're pregnant, and yes, they may be like, oh, get an abortion. But in the end, it's her choice to give it up or keep it. It's all up to her in the end, because she's the one who's having the baby.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah, that is very true. And here's the thing, it's not a good idea to keep this from her parents, and I don't think that you should tell your parents or tell her parents before she tells her parents, because it's not your secret to tell. It's hers. And my best advice would be talk to her about this, because let's be honest, her parents are going to find out.
Yeah, she's going to get bigger.
Eventually, because she will start to show. And, like, they're going to...
Like, honey, did you gain some weight?
No,
They're gonna-
Mom, I'm fat.
It's my food, baby. No. No.
Me.
They're going to find out eventually. So she should tell her parents, because, okay, you sound like you're probably about 15, 16, in that general age range. No?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you
I
sound...
would agree.
You sound like you're a teenager. And, like, she can't deal with this alone. She needs her parents. She needs an adult to help guide her. But exactly like she said, it's her choice in the end, and they cannot make her do anything that she doesn't want to do, because it's her body and her choice. And legally, like, they cannot force her to have an abortion. They cannot force her to give up her child. But she needs to talk to her parents about it, because this isn't something that she can do alone, or that she should have to do alone.
Josh.
Yeah, I mean, I think also kind of going back to the question and what you're concerned about, which is, what do I do with this information? I mean, in life, you find yourself in sticky situations a lot. It just happens. They come, and then you have to make a choice. And there's no right or wrong. Like, whatever way you go, there's going to be consequences, good and bad. And it's really about just doing whatever feels right for you right now, and then accepting whatever comes your way, because you made that choice, and you're the only one responsible for whatever outcomes happen. Jilly?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, I agree with what's been said. I think that the best thing to do, there is no right or wrong, I completely agree, is to talk to your friend and just say, really think that, you know, we need to kind of get an adult involved. Like, this is a huge responsibility. This is a huge kind of situation, and like, I'm here to love and support you, but I think that for the well-being of everybody involved, like, we should try and talk to an adult, and maybe it's not the parents right now, but somebody should get involved.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's not your responsibility, but you should talk to your friend and say, I think you need to talk to someone. And that's about as much as you can do. I mean, if you don't believe that that's true, it's still the right thing to do, because in the end, like everyone said, they're still going to know. So why not have them know now so they can have some time to discuss what they're going to choose to do? Because if it is, you know, early enough to get an abortion and that's what she wants to do, she needs to talk to someone so she can go do that. And, you know, I mean, it's just, that's the ultimate thing that has to be done here.
Sometimes choices can seem really binary, and they're not. There are all kinds of options. And for you, this can feel like maybe even kind of like a cause, like you're saving the life of this baby by keeping the secret through the first trimester. It's not that simple, and it's not that clear cut that if you talk, an abortion will happen. Who's predicting that? I doubt that that's going to happen. There are so many other different options. She could put the baby up for adoption. Yeah. She could keep the baby. There are a lot of choices. And yes, pregnancy is a big deal, especially when it happens to someone really young. But if she is going to keep this baby, and if this baby is going to come to term and be born, it's really unhealthy for the mother to be under this much emotional distress for this many months of the baby's incubation. So let a grown-up help you through this. Telling an adult does not equal abortion.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. And so I advise that you call a helpline. You can go to in the Journals app, and you can click on the helplines, and you see a whole list of helplines. And some pregnancy helplines can be really kind of religious-based, and a religious organization put them up, and they're designed to help, you know, women or girls decide to keep babies. So there's sometimes an agenda behind this that you should be aware of as you're reading through these helplines. A good place to call is teenline.online.org. They're very impartial, and they give you all the options. I also feel like Planned Parenthood is very impartial. Mm-hmm. A lot of right-wing people feel like it isn't, but I know people that have gone there, and they give you absolutely every possible option. They're not leading you towards abortions by any means. They understand that pregnancy means I'm really confused and I'm freaking out, and I need to hear all the options available. But I agree with the panel that she shouldn't be doing this just with her teenage friends. Yeah. She needs an adult to help her.
And for all you know, an adult that's, you know, around you, I don't know, your mom, your aunt could have had the same situation. I mean, it's common. And I think, and maybe you can start, like, let's say you're really close with one of your older cousins or your aunt. You could start there too, just to get like a little bit of an opinion if you're close with them. But I think you don't know. I mean, there is a possibility that your dad's sister or your mom had the same situation. And I think that you never know until you find out. Try.
Everybody, everybody was a teenager who is a grown-up, they were a teenager, and your problems are not unique to your generation. People have been getting pregnant. That's a thing that's been happening. Give us a call if you know anything or have an opinion about teen pregnancy. 888-531-7171. We want to hear your
chime in at the end.
I'll have to write a song for the phone number that we can all learn to sing.
888-531-7171. Call in.
Woo! We already have a song.
That was like some serious harmony right
fast.
there. I think we need to like have that play, like a little jingle play every time.
We do.
Like, and now the number is
888-531-7171. Hey! That was really
so coordinated. It's working out today.
It's
just working out.
That was so spontaneous.
I did not know there would be a floor show.
This is what improv teaches you.
Who hasn't read? Josh, would you like to read the question?
Sure.
Dandelion.
I would love to.
These are all cute.
Dandelion. I'm 16 years old, and I'm just starting my first proper job at a high-end shop.
That's an important detail. A high-end shop. That's how she's defining it.
High-end
shop. In other words, a fancy store.
So like Barney's or like Bloomingdale's.
It's extremely scary to me, as I've never done a job like this before, and we've barely had any training.
Me, myself, and I.
I have no idea where I'm meant to go or who I'm meant to talk to, and it's a very serious, non-friendly environment, so I feel reluctant to ask anybody. Do you think that this is an environment that I should stay in, or should I find a more age-appropriate job?
Sarah?
I've been through a lot of jobs, and some of them resulting in that it wasn't very work-friendly. Now, a lot of work-friendly things can go different areas of different ways, like, are the people not friendly to you? Do you not like the work environment? Like, is it just something that you're not interested in? Or is, like I said before, the people just, like, not nice to you? But if you don't, so it is your first job, it's just it's a learning experience. If you don't feel comfortable in it, try to find something that you feel a little bit more, like, comfortable in it. And then when you're ready to take that sort of task on, take it on. Lyric?
So I think that since you are new to working, even though you say that these people seem very unfriendly, they know that that's the case. And they've probably been there too. So I think if you find someone who seems like they're not too busy at the moment, because if they're like, let's say you're on the perfume counter, or something, I don't know, like, you know, in those, some of those, like, or something like that, right? And you see someone selling a perfume, you're not just going to be like, hey, where do I go? But if someone's available, then go ahead and talk to them, because I'm sure that they are happy to help, even though they might seem unfriendly, because, you know, people want to help teens.
Yeah, that's right. What's her?
For me personally, I mean, I've never worked in retail before. I would like to, honestly.
Yeah.
She's like shaking her head at me. I have never.
No,
disclaimer.
No, you wouldn't.
Just like disclaimer, I've never worked in retail before. But when I first read this question, the first thing that came to mind was, if you're not happy in this environment, you know, quit. Go do something that's more fun, that pays equally. You know, because you only have so much time in a day, in your week.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry, that did not come out right. But
Wise words with
you,
sorry.
you only have so much time. Spend it doing something that you enjoy, and don't force yourself to enjoy it. I don't know.
Julie.
That was good.
I mean, I agree with that to an extent, but I also think that anytime you start a new job, it's hard because you don't know anybody, and I think it really gets easier. So I would say to give it a little bit of time. And maybe, you know, as you were saying, like, if it gets, like, at a slow time, see what needs to be done and, like, ask, you know, is it okay if I organize this? Is it okay, you know, if I do this? I was thinking about this or whatever, and talk to the people that you're around, because, you know, just try and make it a better situation if you can, because it usually does get easier once you kind of know the situation.
Know the situation, know the people, and always be willing to say, you know, what can I be doing? I'm free at the moment. And also keep your eyes open. If you notice someone trying to undo a package, go get scissors. Yeah. You know, those are the things that come up all day, every day. And if you're the first person that's stepping up and helping someone lift a heavy box, then you're awesome. Sarah.
Oh, is it? Did you? Oh, okay.
I'm getting some interference.
Okay.
Me?
Okay.
And also, I think any job that you're going to, I mean, there's no, like, age-appropriate job. Like, would you count working at McDonald's an age-appropriate job? Like, I just think whatever makes you happy.
I think she means, like, I don't know, like a teenager kind of
like the Gap
store.
as opposed to.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
but PacSun.
I think if you got a job at this, I mean, I don't know what the job interview process is and, like, how qualified you have to be, but if you got a job working here, they want you to be here and you're talented enough and they think you could do it.
It's possible that her parents know the owners, and so she really feels like, this is my first experience with all these grown-ups who are schmancy, and I just
say,
but, like, give it a couple of weeks.
like,
I think
give it time.
Yeah.
Sarah. Oh, who are you pointing at, Aaron? Aaron.
Josh.
Whoever Aaron's pointing at.
All right, Josh,
talk.
talk.
So I mean, I definitely agree with Lyric in that whatever makes you happy, and adding on to that, I think that you're also responsible for creating that environment in which you'll be happy. Like, yes, this job may be upfront scary, like Jilly said, and give it a few weeks or give it a little time. However, at the same time, if you come into it with the mentality that it's going to be all the things that you said in your question, it's not going to be anything else. That's all you'll ever see there at the work. So you're going to be responsible for creating your own experience there. Now, what do you want to get out of it? That's up to you to decide. Now, if you want to be happy, maybe choose to be a happy, fun-going person there, and then you'll be happy. So I would just say take that on and do that, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of an add-on, since I do work in retail, what the first rule is if you come in with sort of an attitude or like, man, I don't want to be here because they're not friendly, it's going to rub off on customers, and then they're going to create more problems. Because I've had situations where I've come in, I've had a migraine, didn't feel good, and the customers, they feel whenever, because it comes off to them when you speak to them, and they feel like you have an attitude, so they get mad, they tell the manager, and the manager gets mad at you. So
Just a spiral.
Just always if you don't think about it too much if you're overthinking it, because then customers will find out and it'll just create more problems.
They'll pick up on your mood. We have a phone call. You got that for me, Matt?
There you go.
Thanks for calling Journals. Who do we have?
Hi, my name is Sam.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
How are you today?
Pretty good.
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Are you excellent?
That's awesome.
You sound pretty excellent. Yep. What have you got on your mind?
There's this girl that I like, you know, just like any other girl or any other guy I really like.
Yep, familiar with the sitch.
To me, she's just like the perfect girl. And, like, she's good looking. She's happy. She's always happy. She's funny. She's great. But like, we're really good friends, and we've been pretty good friends for a while now. And I want to tell her, but I don't want to ruin our relationship if she doesn't feel the same way with me. So basically, I'm asking just how can I do that?
How to tell if a girl likes.
Well, I'm a big fan of information and transparency. And then if there's a friendship where one person wants more than friends and the other person wants only friends, then you have agendas that are not matching, and it's a friendship that's out of balance. So I feel that as soon as you start liking someone, after a month or two, you should say something so that you find out how she feels and you can proceed accordingly. But sometimes people kind of go along together in this unbalanced relationship, and you're always hoping for more, and she's thinking that you're just really, good friends. And so the more information that you have, the easier it will be for you to either move on or move into a relationship with this person. What are your thoughts, Jilly?
Yeah, a similar situation actually happened recently, and my advice would be the sooner the better, because if you wait too long, it just seems like, you're at a different place, and if it's like years go by and the messages are gonna be confused. So I would say, honesty, have that conversation, and it's gonna be hard, but it's better to be honest at this point.
Yeah, tell her. Like, you're probably scared of it maybe being awkward or just the relationship not being the same after this, but honesty is always the best policy, and you're going to feel so much better after you tell her that you like her. And even if she doesn't feel the same way, it doesn't have to ruin the relationship. If it does, that's totally on her, and you don't want to be friends with her if it ruins your relationship.
But there's that.
Yeah,
there's that living in hope land that you don't want crushed.
Yeah,
So
right.
you just get to the next day and you're kind of living on any sign, and that's kind of all you need to survive through the next day. And you don't want to just crush that. So, Jilly.
Yeah, I mean, if you have those feelings, like, they're probably not going to go away, which is also something to remember, because they're just going to probably increase, and then you're going to get to a point where it's like you're feeling, really like you really like her, and she's, amazing and all this stuff, and she has no idea, and there's already like a gap between where you guys are, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger. So I would say, again, just like, it's better to have the conversation
How
now.
do you guys feel about if there's two friends and one really has a strong crush? Does the other one kind of know?
Not always.
No.
Sometimes they're just clueless.
Not always.
Not always.
I
Sometimes.
don't agree with that. I think they just pretend that and say that they don't know. Like, and maybe on a fundamental level, they really don't know, but deep down they know. Like,
Maybe.
I feel like it depends on the relationship.
You can always tell.
Because, like, I have guy friends that we are, like, literally best friends, and it is not there's nothing going on.
They're
Yeah,
all
well,
in
that's-
love with you.
and
That's
like-
true, because you're
I
like,
know.
but we're talking about when relationships are off kilter.
No, but I'm saying, I'm
Like-
saying like I feel like you can tell. Like I
Yeah.
think people just kind of get a sense. And maybe, I mean, honestly, you don't know. She could feel the same way, and I think the only way you're going to find out is if you ask. And maybe saying before you say this, like, I want to make sure that we still stay friends because I really value our friendship, but I like you. And like usually people, you know, she's going to be like, I like you too, or she's going to say, you're really sweet, but I just want to be friends. And you still get to be friends with her. Like, it's not, you
But
know.
let's be realistic. If he's going to get over her, he may have to pull away from the friendship.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, this is why this is such a big question.
Yeah.
Are you pointing to Mozart, Aaron?
Yeah.
Aaron, we need to get him like a really long pointer. So he's
Yeah.
just like tapping you on
We
the head with
actually,
it.
but then he'd like whack the cameras, and that would just be really unfortunate.
That would be a great show.
Okay, go ahead.
What was I gonna say now?
About how sometimes people need to kind of sever the friendship in order to heal if the person isn't in love with them back.
I'll
Still
take it
don't
over
remember.
and then
Yes,
you think
I
about it.
will
Okay.
think about it.
So I would just say, like, out of everything, just take the seriousness out of it, because at the end of the day, like, yes, it feels serious to have this conversation, and it will matter to you because this obviously matters to you. You're calling in, you're asking about it. However, approaching it in a serious matter will freak anyone out. So if you just approach it and just be like, hey, this is a crazy thought, or hey, I'm kind of weirded out by this, but like, I do like you. And where are we right now?
Are we ever going to
Yeah.
be more
Yeah.
than friends? is
So
a good
just
way to
just
say it.
approach it in a way that's not like life or death, because the other person will
completely
pick
agree.
up on that as well, and they'll be freaked out. And you may not get the their actual like response that you or they want to even give you, because they're just freaked out in the moment.
Yeah.
So
But information is powerful, and
Yeah.
you do need it. Thank you so much for calling in, Sam. We really
Thank
appreciate the phone
you.
call. And we are
Thank you.
moving on. Sarah, do you want to read the question from
So from
Um,
Anonymous.
this one, the first one on the second page?
Yeah. This is the second time a guy who has a girlfriend already likes me. This time, this guy is serious and wants to break up with his girlfriend and is waiting for me to accept. Is he a good or bad person? I'm a friend of his girlfriend, so am I a bad friend? I haven't flirted with him or anything. Did I do anything wrong?
I mean, he's not a good or bad person. You are the bad person. Like, honestly,
What?
I
Okay.
really don't.
I don't agree.
Okay,
I do.
Josh.
Like, you're the one actively going into another relationship. What about you needs to seek approval from someone else's person?
But she
like,
said that she didn't flirt with him.
Like,
Well, she's
she's
not aware
saying
of
that
it.
this is the second time a guy in a relationship. She is actively doing something that is attracting guys in relationships. She wants this.
No,
She's
but
not
what about him
asking
not?
us.
He's not breaking up with his girlfriend until he finds out if there's
That's-
another boat for him to jump
Well,
into.
that's fine. I mean, that's him. That's on him. But what we're talking
He's a
about
bad
is
person.
we're talking about
They're equally responsible.
Yeah.
she's the one creating
I
the
don't-
situation. It wouldn't even exist for her if she wasn't the source of it. So at the end of the day, like, you need to look at your life and how you're contributing to this, and this shouldn't even appear in your life. So that's all I have to say. honestly.
Chile.
No, I completely agree. I think that this is a bad situation. Like, he, first of all, shouldn't be like waiting to break up with this girl to make sure that like he has somebody else. Like, that is so wrong on so
Yeah.
many levels. You know, if there's an issue within the relationship, then like that relationship shouldn't exist. And I think that you, especially if this is your friend, like, this is a bad situation. I actually do agree with Josh, and that you need to like evaluate where you are and what you might be doing to be leading people on, because this is not good. If this is the second time,
Yeah, if there's a pattern.
there's a pattern here.
Lyric.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone here is like a good or a bad
No,
person.
we were just.
No. I just wanted to say that, like, just to this person, because I don't think it makes you a bad person if you decide to go out with him. But I think that not only will you be jeopardizing your friendship with this girl, with your friend, but also you're kind of being with this guy that has liked you while he's in a relationship, and he will do that to you most likely. So I mean, this is just like, it's usually when there is a guy in a relationship into someone else, unless he says, like, even just breaking up with someone to go be with someone else is just like breaking up with someone because you don't want to continue in that relationship is the reason you should be breaking up, or you know, you're going off to college, or there's some reason, but not because you want to be with someone else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of closing one thing properly and appropriately and with
Yes.
respect before you even entertain another thing. So
completely.
because that doesn't give the new relationship a chance to have a healthy beginning. You're building on a weak and shifting sand. And so you can't just go flirting with people in relationships and hopping in and out of flirts with people. You have to be respectful of what already is pre-existing. Lyric.
And I think you should say to him, I'm sorry, but you're dating my friend, and maybe even tell your friend. I mean, I see there's two reasons you might not want to do that.
Honesty.
Because, I mean, you might not want to do that because she might be like, well, are you flirting with my, and then it could turn into a whole thing. But you need to tell him no, and you're dating my friend. I mean, come on, bro. Like, this is not right.
It also doesn't, I mean, it doesn't say that she likes him.
Yeah, I don't think she does. I think she's just like, maybe.
That honestly, that doesn't even matter if she likes him. She's creating a space in which guys who are in relationships want to talk to her and leave their girlfriends for her. So she's actively participating in this in a way that is causing this. It just doesn't happen unless you're looking for it.
Yeah,
I mean, Josh, you sound like you're speaking from experience. This is striking a nerve with you.
It's not striking a nerve. For me, I don't like it when people don't take responsibility for the cause in the matter of their life. And right now she's really blaming and putting the fingers everywhere else other than herself. And she really needs to look at herself.
Yeah, I don't think either one is like right or wrong. Like, Jilly, you said that?
Lyric did.
Oh, Lyric.
Lyric
I
did.
apologize, Lyric.
It's okay.
Like Lyric said. But I forgot what I was going to say again. I'm so sorry.
Ginkgo.
No one's a good or bad person.
I think we knew.
Yeah, I think that sometimes people, when they write a letter, you can read between the lines and see that they are very actively affecting the outcome that they are describing. And what Josh is saying is, we just want you to take responsibility and ownership. Like, if your natural style is flirty, then let's just take a look at that. And if that makes you feel good to get someone in a relationship to look at you in a flirty way, then that's a destructive habit, and you need to take a look at that and be responsible, because you should be comfortable and proud of yourself as with people as friends, respecting the relationships that they're in, and understanding that people are not available to date you unless they're single, really, at all.
Yeah, what I was going to say was neither of you are right or wrong, but you're both equally responsible, because you're responsible because he is a guy who has a girlfriend and you need to respect that. But he is also responsible because he is in the relationship with the girl, and he shouldn't, if he's loyal to the girl and if he is not at fault, he would not be breaking up with his girlfriend for you.
Yeah, but there's nothing she can do about his.
Yeah,
well, yeah, but I'm saying like it's not her fault. It's like it's not all on her.
Yeah.
But she can say, I'm not interested in dating you unless and until you're done with
Yeah,
this.
I mean, I'm not saying
You
that
have
she's not at fault, but like just like
this situation wouldn't happen if she wouldn't have allowed it in her life in the first place. And I don't mean to be like, if it's coming off mean or rude to you, that's how you're perceiving it. Like, I really do genuinely care that you get this, and at the end of the day, that like the only way that you're going to get it is if somebody just talks straightforward with you. And
but it also wouldn't be the same
right
situation if he...
It doesn't, like, what he's doing, that's his life.
You can only control
like, you can only control what you allow in your life, and right now she's allowing him, a person who is not doing something as well, into her life.
Yeah.
So she's responsible for every layer of this.
And it's her friend that he's dating. So this is going to create all kinds of rifts for you that are going to make your life unfun. You need to stop doing this.
Okay, here's the thing. I could definitely see, I feel like this is something that could happen to any of us.
Sure.
And she probably doesn't know that she's doing this. She may just be attracted to these guys for some reason, or not, unconsciously be attracting guys that are in relationships. And we're not saying, oh, you are doing something wrong. Like, because she might be like, I don't know that I'm doing this. But I think looking at... like it's not really a coincidence that you're attracting these guys, and at least that's what we think.
Yeah.
So, and I think you just need to be like, no, I mean, I'm sorry, this is just so many things wrong with this.
Julie, would you read the question from I'm in New York with my dad?
Sure. I'm in New York with my dad, but I live in Virginia with my mom. I want to live with my dad, but I'm scared to tell my mom. But I feel like if I don't tell my mom, I will regret not saying it because I want to stay with my dad. Me and my mom haven't been the same recently, and she knows that too, and she cries about it. Should I tell her or risk regretting it later?
Sarah?
I think you need to have a very long, heart to heart with your mother, because this is definitely striking a nerve with her, and it's also striking a nerve with you because you don't know how to react to it, and she doesn't know how to react to it because you want to live with your dad, but she's having a tough time accepting that you want to live with her dad, and she may be placing herself in a situation where she says, I did something wrong, she doesn't want to live with me. But that's as far as Lyric?
I think I think that you need to talk with her, and I think instead of saying we've been kind of having a hard time lately, I want to go live with dad, I think you should say NY is New York?
Probably.
I'm assuming so, yes.
All right, so New York is really interesting. Yeah, I'm like, is there another NY?
New you, Lyric.
New York is really interesting, and I kind of want to go be with dad too. I haven't, I think he's really cool, and I like seeing what he's doing out there. I don't know. I think saying that you're really interested in living in a different place and being, kind of changing things up versus saying, Mom, we've been having some issues lately, because even though that may be true, I think it'll make her hurt even more. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like she's already knowing that something's going on between the two of you. So I don't think, making that the reason why you want to go live with.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said. And I also want to take it a step further. I really think that if you're moving to have this experience of living in New York and be with your father and learn what it is to live with him, that's great. However, on the underside of it, I think honestly what you're going to regret more in the long term is moving because of the fact that you're not okay with your mother right now.
Right.
You need to be moving for a reason in which, I'm moving because I want to do this for my life and I want to experience something new, not I want to get away from something.
So we should always try to be moving towards something rather than away from something.
Correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jilly?
No, I completely agree. I think that you shouldn't leave because you're having issues. I had to choose who I wanted to live with when my parents separated. And it was hard because you feel like, you're leaving one parent and you're choosing one over the other or whatever. But I think that you don't go live with your dad because there's unresolved things with your mom. Resolve the things as best as you can. And if you still think that you want to go live with your dad, then do that, but make it clear that it's not because of her. It's not because there are issues, because those issues are never going to be resolved and they might get worse. Sarah?
Also, I don't know how many times you've been to New York and seen your dad, but don't just go there for your dad. Go there for you. Go around, see what the city's like, see what possibilities, opportunities are there for you. Don't just go there because your dad's living there, because if you do decide to go live with your dad, you're living there for the rest of possibly your life. Would you like to be there for the rest of your life?
Yeah, and obviously I don't know your parents, so I can't say that this will be true. However, I know I come from a divorced family that when you're visiting the parent that you don't live with, they tend to put on this great week or this great time so you can experience being with them. And honestly, I don't necessarily think that you living with him is going to be as great as you think it will be. There will be things that come up between the two of you that eventually you'll try to run from. Look at just solving what you have now and then working it out, and then possibly moving and maybe working out whatever comes up there. Life, always you have to work things out. It doesn't just come in a nice little box. There's always things to work towards and strive for. And as long as you know what and who you are in the situation and how you're contributing it, then you're set.
I just want to say, it's very common for a teenage girl to have problems with her mother. And your mom's kind of aware that that's going on, and so that's a thing that's happening, and that's fine. And so a way that you can position it with your mom is this: I'd like to take a year with dad and experience dad, because your dad and your mom live really far apart, which means that you don't get a lot of access to your dad, and you could say, this year I need my dad, and just kind of leave it at that, so that you don't have to worry about your mom's hurt feelings, because she will have hurt feelings. She's a person. Lyric.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I wonder if seeing, like a trial kind of thing. I don't know if 6 months, a year, whatever would work out. Because if you're going to school there, it depends. If you're past that age, then maybe you're just traveling or whatever. So I think just seeing if it would be possible to do like a trial run type of thing, so that your mom knows that you're going to be coming back, and you just want to see what it's like out there, and if you would want to go live with him. Because like Josh said, and I thought that was really interesting, how he might make it seem like it's going to be really great, but you don't know, and you might really wish that you were with your mom. So I think just testing it out and seeing what either side is like, because it sounds like you haven't experienced life with your dad much yet.
Yeah, and on the flip side too, answering specifically your question, also share with her what you're feeling. Like, don't just hold that in, because you also will regret that. Even if you don't end up moving or none of this ever unfolds, just share. Like, life happens through sharing.
Yeah, and you may feel like, oh, I'm a horrible daughter and I'm not getting along with my mom right now, so I'm just laying that groundwork of this is a normal teenage girl thing, and your mom had this with her mom. And so, if you can establish that, everyone here is just doing what biologically, like what humans do at certain stages of life, and I might just need a year with my dad, but I love you to pieces, and you're going to really miss your mom too. If you sign up for a school year in New York and it gets rolling, there's going to be those days where you like wish your mom was there. And so, I mean, they're your parents, so, you love them. But I do believe that once you get to be like 15 or 16 in a divorced family, you get more choices. And so make a choice. It's okay. And don't feel guilty about the parent that you left behind, because they're the ones who decided not to be together, not you. And therefore, you get to pick one or the other, and whatever works out for you best that year, and to get the most of your parents as you're still a child, because they only get 18 years to raise you, and and they each deserve a certain amount of time with you. Let me read this question from, it says, recently, me and my ex got back together, but I've been talking to a girl from another town. I don't know what to tell her, because I know she likes me, and she's supposed to come to the fair and see me. I just don't want to ruin her feelings. Greedy much?
I guess you could say that. I mean, you can't really have the best of both worlds in a way. I think that for you, there's a choice and a decision like right there, right now, that you need to make. So if you have feelings for her, then you shouldn't be in a relationship with your ex, because obviously it ended for a reason the first time. I'm not privy to what that why was. However, at the end of the day, it did end, and there's something there to look at. And on the flip side, with this new girl, you can't be courting someone else, like you said, before you have ended something else. So if you really care about her and her feelings, it's not about tell her sooner than later. Don't contemplate and wait. Yeah. Lyric?
Well, here's the thing. You have one person who you are actually with in real life, and then you also have another person who you've never met. I would say to go with the person you actually know and who you're actually in a relationship with. And I mean, okay, another town might mean, like Santa Monica and Venice or something. Like, we don't know if they're like far away. So it could be that they're close. But I mean, it's like, be with the person who you're actually with. Come on, you haven't met this person ever, and they're coming to meet you for the first time, and you're even entertaining the thought of a relationship. I mean, you need to be like, look, I'm in a relationship and I can't be with you. I'm sorry. Maybe some other, like in a while, but right now in a relationship.
Yeah, honesty. You can't string people along just because you
fair.
like having that attention, Josh.
Well, I'm gonna pass it to Lyric first.
Oh, pass.
I mean, dang, wow. That's like
I was like,
let me be clear. I was like pop quiz basically to
like,
Lyric. You're like, wait, what?
No, I was
meant
like,
to say
thank you,
Mozart
because
both
I wanted
times.
to say
so
something.
Mozart. You go, and then I'll go.
Mozart.
Mozart, go.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell the girl you have a girlfriend. Like,
Yeah.
she needs to know that information. You cannot talk to a girl, make it seem like you like her, that you know that she likes you, and not let her know you have a girlfriend. Like, that's just like...
Don't turn the fair into an unfair.
No.
How long had you been thinking about that?
It just
one?
popped in.
That's
It's called
puns.
genius
Sorry.
lyric.
Puns, that is. That's
I harness
You
it.
wouldn't know.
She doesn't want none unless you've got...
A roasting? A
roast-off.
Are we having a roasty now?
A roast-off.
Where are we?
Anyway.
Hey, Josh.
So my feedback on this, adding to what Mozart was saying was that so for what you're doing in this relationship and what you're contributing to it, I think that for talking to her about and just sharing that you have a girlfriend will already speak a lot more than just keeping it to yourself. And I think adding another layer, like you said, just wait and close out whatever it is with your current girlfriend. And if it doesn't close out, it doesn't close out. But you telling her and being honest about the fact that you have a girlfriend and the fact that you're not pursuing this right now. However, I do have feelings for you and I want to pursue this in the future. That's something that will speak more than just seeing how it falls.
Honesty.
Yeah.
I think if anything's going to hurt her feelings, it's going to be the fact that you have been stringing her along like this and now you're saying you have a girlfriend. I think if you had told her long ago, hey, I have a girlfriend, she wouldn't probably be, I mean, you know, she would be like, oh man, this guy that I want to be with has a girlfriend. But I think, yes, this is probably going to hurt her, but do you really want a relationship with her when you already have a girlfriend?
Well, let me ask this question of you guys. How much of that is going on where you can have sort of an online friend and then still feel like everyone in real life is available to sort of date and wait and see how things play out, but you still love going back to your online?
I don't have any online friends. That scares me.
Does
I
anyone
don't really.
anyone can anyone relate to
I have
this?
some.
You have some? Do you have some?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On what? Like, where
I've
do you
done
meet
that
these
before.
people?
And it's gotten kind of romantic.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I was strictly talked to with my parents because I did find out, and they were just like, you don't know these people. Why are you talking to them? Why are you flirting with them? They could be like old people hiding behind young people like pictures. And it was a really awkward conversation because my mom sat me down for like hours and she would constantly tell me, she'd be like, don't do that. And then I would go back doing it. She'd find out, don't do that.
It's addictive, right?
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that thing.
So, and I get where let's say that you most kids are breaking rules if they have some sort of romantic friend online that they've never met. But assuming that a lot of kids do that, they probably compartmentalize it and keep it it's a separate kind of relationship or bond that they have with this virtual person than the ones they meet in real life. And then all of a sudden this online friend is going to come to the fair. So that's when, that point you do have to be really clear and say, look, I really am very fond of you, but here's my reality. In real life, right in front of my face is someone that I'm actually dating, and I should have told you that sooner. So I just think coming clean is the best.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Our last question, Mozart?
Yes.
Thanks for
Did
the
you want to read it, Josh?
confidence.
That too.
No.
I have something to say.
Yeah, but we only have 3 minutes. Let's go. 3
Read.
minutes.
Someone please explain to me how I can overcome my anger towards people who have completely screwed me over in life and not let them have control over my feelings. Right now they have full power over my emotions and I hate it. How can I become a free-spirited person?
We have so
This
much
is a
good.
fantastic
We have
question.
really
Yeah.
good advice for you. We're here for you.
It's a
Josh.
really, it's kind of going back to what I was saying before with the other question. Honestly, the only way you're going to get past any of that and the whole world of what you're talking about is accepting that you played a part in it. It's the biggest piece of it. Like once you accept responsibility for that it turned out that way and not become the victim and play the victim, then you have the power to move past it. Up until now, you're just like, they completely screwed me over. Like, consider that you completely screwed you over. You allowed them in your life.
Won't that just make them mad at themselves?
No,
I don't think
I don't
that's
think
gonna-
it's going to make them mad at themselves. Like, take responsibility for it and not make it mean anything. Because, yes, you did it. And what is going to be mad at yourself going to do either? Like, you're mad at them. You're going to be mad at yourself. You're still the victim.
Sometimes you
Like-
have to get mad at yourself in order to
Yeah.
change your behavior.
Exactly.
Let it go.
Let's all just end
Like,
singing "Let It Go."
And we're not
said
even
that
saying
word?
we don't even know the details to know whether or not
Yeah.
maybe people in your life were really not okay to
Yeah,
you.
unless it was
Yeah.
just
But-
a situation where you have
But
no
there's
I'm-
a
control.
serenity prayer that says you have to accept what you have control over, what you don't, and know the difference.
And,
So
and let me be clear, I'm also not excusing anyone's behavior. People do things that are
Yeah.
completely messed up.
Yeah.
However, you sometimes allowed it in your life, and you have the choice to make it make it mean something. Now, it doesn't mean anything about you. You're completely perfect as you are. Like, maybe sound like a little like kumbaya type stuff.
You're
but
perfect
however,
the way you are.
you're perfect. However, at the end of the day, like, you're responsible for your world.
I agree.
Yeah, and you can be angry up to a point, and then you have to say, wow, what have I learned from this, and what could I do differently to surround myself with better people who have my best interests at heart the way I want to have their best interests at heart. Lyric.
I mean, here's the thing. It happened in the past, and I know it is hard to let things go, but there's really nothing you can do about it now. And the only thing that is left for you to do is to improve yourself and try to, make it so that something similar, we don't know, something similar doesn't happen in the future, and just be the person that you want to be. Because, I know it's really hard not to let people control you, but these things have happened, and now there's nothing you can do other than to just move forward.
Yeah, and know
that's
that
like your only move here.
You're not your circumstances, and because things went wrong doesn't mean that there's a pattern in place for life. You can change your circumstances by changing what you put out into the world, and it will bounce off of everything and come back to you. And write us with more details so that maybe we can give you some more detailed advice. I appreciate everybody who's called in and everyone who's on the panel. This is our best show ever. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Give us a good review. And write a comment, and we'll talk about your question next week. We love you.
And
let it go. Let it go. No, can't hold it back anymore.
Let it go.